Well, Boeing is now considering suspending production of the 737 MAX jet altogether, as we all wait to see if and when those jets might get back up in the air. Yahoo Finance's Alexis Keenan can tell us more. What is happening here, Alexis? So the date kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed, and now, according to reports, maybe we won't see those planes again.
Right. So we first heard about the potential that the whole production line for Boeing 737 MAX could be stopped down completely. Back in July, at the end of July, during the second quarter earnings call, this was mentioned, and Boeing has said that depending on how regulators react, that they may have to make adjustments that could be slowing it down further or the altogether halt. At that time, they had said that in April, they had already reduced production from 57 aircraft per month down to 42 per month. So a full stop down would be a significant decrease in the number of aircraft that Boeing is producing. But of course, they're also accumulating and they're being stored by Boeing, and Boeing is having to negotiate as they go with customer by customer on how this is all going to go. You know, they've already realized $3.6 billion in increased production costs, as well as put aside $6.1 billion in customer concessions. So the numbers are adding up. And what we're hearing from the Wall Street Journal is that Boeing's board could decide as early as today what they're going to do, a full stop down of this production line versus bringing it down below that 42 number.
I mean, you're talking about some of the implications of this. Let's talk about jobs. What does this mean for the folks working at Boeing? Are we talking about job cuts here?
And it's not just, possibly, it's not just the folks at Boeing either, right? Because this supply chain consists of what is approximately 600 different global vendors. They too have a very carefully coordinated timeline during which they deliver parts to Boeing. So this has really global repercussions if they do make further reductions of any kind. Though I do want to mention what Boeing has told us in response to the Wall Street Journal's reporting. They're saying this. They say, we continue to assess production decisions based on the timing and conditions of return to service, which will be based on regulatory approvals and may vary by jurisdiction. So Boeing acknowledging there that there could be approval in one country before another country.
So it seems like this is surprising because Dennis Muhlenberg and the Boeing management had been optimistic that maybe they can get the 737 MAX back into the skies by the end of this year.
Right.
Looking at the clock right now, probably not going to happen, right?
No.
At this point,
and the FAA
why the sudden
has,
change?
Yeah, the FAA has acknowledged as much. It's reported that Muhlenberg and the FAA chief Stephen Dixon met on Thursday, and at that time, Dixon had said that Boeing's timeline looked pretty unrealistic is the word that he used. And so it looks like this is going to go all the way into definitely 2020. And right now we're looking at possibly a February timeline, although American Airlines has already pushed their return to service, it's saying early April. So they're being a little bit more cautious there, even in that regard.
And just to be clear, even if production is completely halted on new 737 MAX jets, does that necessarily mean that the existing ones that have been built, but obviously they're fixing the safety issues, will not go back into circulation, or they still could?
No, yeah, I don't think those are mutually exclusive. Right. I think that certainly the FAA could make some movement and the certification process could go forward. But this is really just, it sounds like Boeing trying to decide whether the bigger cost savings for cash flow purposes is to slow the production versus stop it down altogether. And there's also some reporting from Bloomberg saying that employees would rather have something finite to rely on, knowing that there's a full stop down rather than taking it week by week by week. Although they also reported at Bloomberg that no immediate layoffs are anticipated because there's already some stop downs that's embedded into the holiday timeline.
I see. So it is possible that however many 737 MAX jets exist and have already been made will at some point get approved to go up in the sky, but they won't make any more new ones.
Possibly.
That's a possible outcome.
Yes, absolutely.
Interesting. All right. Thanks, Alexis.
You're welcome.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.